Good girl going bad. Take 3. Action. And when she walked into our office, I was like, you know, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, you know, it was just something about it. And then she performed this song. And
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown.
Rihanna was forced to be Jay-Z's concubine. That's what Jaguar Wright claimed.
People don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay-Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night.
And that's what Chris Brown implied, just not in those exact words.
Here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from a celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was Jay-Z.
From leaked herpes allegations to secret NDAs signed under pressure, to a viral clip where Jay-Z allegedly tells a 15-year-old Rihanna she can leave Def Jam through the window or with a deal.
There are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing. Yeah.
This isn't just about music anymore. It's about how the most powerful men in hip-hop tried to own her, and why Rihanna stopped singing and started building an empire of her own. Let's get into it. For years, there have been whispers that Jay-Z's relationship with Rihanna was far from professional.
When I met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room.
Back in 2009, Chris Brown pleaded guilty to Rihanna, a shocking event that captured global headlines. But beneath the surface, there was another story that Chris later revealed. He claimed that Rihanna had given him herpes, which was the catalyst for much of the tension between them. According to Brown's $10 million pro-SE complaint, he alleged that Rihanna failed to disclose her condition, and when he threatened to take legal action, things escalated. Brown claimed that Rihanna then attacked herself and made it appear as though he was the one who did her, flipping the narrative entirely. In his lawsuit, Chris stated that Rihanna's attack on him was not only physical, but psychological. He described waking up one morning with 3 blisters on his private parts, leading him to panic about his health and the risk of spreading the infection to others. He went on to say that this discovery shattered his relationship with Rihanna and ruined his plans to propose to her. He even wrote the song "Don't Wake Me Up" as a tribute to their relationship, which was ultimately doomed by what he alleged was her betrayal.
Too much light in this window.
Chris's accusations didn't stop at the herpes allegations. He claimed that Rihanna's actions and lies cost him millions of dollars in lost endorsements and job opportunities. According to Chris, Rihanna's story of the was a calculated move to shift the public's perception in her favor and damage his career. These accusations created an even more complex narrative behind their infamous altercation. But as the public tried to digest these claims, more rumors began to surface, raising the question, did Rihanna give herpes to someone else? A model who had previously worked with the singer came forward with allegations that he too had contracted herpes after being with her, adding another layer of controversy to an already scandalous situation. However, the story gets even more convoluted when we look at where Rihanna might have contracted the virus. According to Jaguar Wright, a well-known figure in the music industry who has never been shy about exposing dark secrets, the source of Rihanna's herpes infection may have been Jay-Z.
People don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay-Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed to the Def Jam. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean Carter.
Jaguar Wright claimed that Jay-Z's involvement with numerous women, including younger artists like Rihanna, may have led to him contracting herpes and then passing it along. Wright's statement suggests that Jay-Z had an affair with Rihanna in her early years at Def Jam, when he was a mentor to the budding star. If true, this would place Jay-Z at the center of the entire scandal. connecting the dots between his alleged affairs and Chris Brown's claims of contracting herpes from Rihanna. This allegation fits into a larger narrative about Jay-Z's rumored infidelity, which has long been a point of speculation in the media. Jay-Z's own admission of infidelity in his marriage to Beyoncé has further fueled rumors of his relationships with other women, including Rihanna. The timeline of these alleged affairs lines up with the period in which Rihanna and Jay-Z were reportedly romantically involved. Rihanna's rise to fame began when she was just 15 years old, after being discovered by record producer Evan Rogers while she was vacationing in Barbados. Rogers was immediately struck by her presence and unique look, stating, "If that girl can sing, then holy ish." This encounter led to her first single, Pon de Replay, being recorded and sent to various record labels. By December 2004, Rihanna's demo landed on Jay-Z's desk at Def Jam, where he served as president of the label. He was so impressed with the young singer that he allegedly told her there were only two ways out of the meeting room: through the door with a signed contract, or through the window if she refused.
There are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, "Where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing." Yeah.
Rihanna signed with Def Jam that night, marking the start of her meteoric rise to stardom. Under Jay-Z's guidance, Rihanna went on to release a string of hits, including Umbrella, which became a global anthem. Their professional relationship seemed unshakable, but rumors of a romantic involvement persisted. Celebrity biographer J. Randy Taraborelli fueled these rumors in his book Becoming Beyoncé: The Untold Story, where he claimed that Jay-Z and Rihanna were romantically involved as early as 2005. According to the book, Beyoncé was so uncomfortable with the situation that she briefly split from Jay-Z for a year due to her suspicions. The disturbing part is that this isn't an isolated incident. Jay-Z's reputation has been tainted with multiple claims of inappropriate behavior with young women in the industry, and some believe that Diddy knows more about this than he's letting on. For context, Foxy Brown allegedly confessed that her ticket to rap stardom came at a cost, and it all happened while she was young. There are rumors that she claims Jay-Z, then 27, took her V-card when she was just 15 years old, and that Hova, who as the story goes, has a horse-like you-know-what, funded her shopping trips and pampering at hair and nail salons while she was still in high school, all to get into bed with her.
In the beginning, we'd jump in the van, we'd go to Maryland, we'd go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
But wait, there's more. Allegedly, Jay-Z, according to Foxy, has a thing for trans people. The claim is that she said she discovered this after one began calling and harsing her shortly after Jay-Z gave her the G infection.
I think about what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think about what I'm gonna do.
Allegedly, she claimed that during one of her S sessions with Jay-Z, there had been a video recording involved. This session was far from private, as another high-profile individual was allegedly present, none other than the multi-talented Jamie Foxx, who played the role of Wanda in the iconic sketch comedy show In Living Color. It appears Foxy's supposed account ventured into even murkier territory when she allegedly disclosed that Jay-Z had compelled her to sign multiple non-disclosure agreements or gag orders related to an intimate encounter that involved all three of them: herself, Jamie Foxx, and Jay-Z. She asserted that this encounter was, in fact, a threesome. The sensational twist in this story occurred when, shortly after this incident, the alleged videotape of that supposed particular rendezvous mysteriously disappeared from her home. Foxy Brown firmly believes that Jay-Z had a hand in the disappearance of this tape, raising suspicions about his involvement in the alleged theft. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. Beyond the shocking revelations and claims, there are claims that Foxy Brown divulged another intriguing facet of Jay-Z's life. Supposedly, according to her, there was an enduring consistency in Jay-Z's world that could not be ignored. She allegedly hinted at a connection between Jay-Z and Larry Johnson, suggesting that their relationship may have been more than just casual friendship. The fact that Jay-Z had once shared an apartment with the NBA player who had a prior association with Rocawear lent some credence to her insinuations. In her alleged candid recollection of her experiences with Jay-Z, it seems Foxy did not hold back when it came to expressing her sentiments about Jay's wife, Beyoncé. Her feelings towards Beyoncé were far from sugar-coated, to say the least. Foxy Brown left no room for ambiguity in her candid remarks regarding the global superstar. She allegedly revealed that Bey had also been infected by Jay-Z. Now let's talk about the alleged split between Beyoncé and Jay-Z. After the infamous elevator incident between Solange and Jay-Z, people started seriously questioning Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship. The cheating rumors that had been floating around for years only got louder, even though they went on the road together for their On the Run tour, which made a huge $100 million just in ticket sales. According to Billboard, things weren't as perfect as they looked. Page 6 reported that behind the scenes, Beyoncé and Jay-Z were actually thinking about separating. Not a divorce exactly, but quietly going their own way. They were said to have brought marriage counselors with them on tour, trying to figure out how to end things without messing up their business deals or losing the millions they'd already been paid for the shows. Jay-Z didn't talk about any of this publicly for a long time, but in 2017, he finally opened up in an interview with the New York Times T magazine. He admitted how close they came to splitting up. He said, "Most people walk away. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused, and then have to deal with yourself." It was one of the few times he really let people in. Then came Beyoncé's 2016 Lemonade album. The whole project was emotional and clearly about betrayal and heartbreak. One song, Sorry, had some really cutting lyrics, and there was even a spoken word part that made it obvious she had been cheated on. A lot of fans took the album as confirmation that Jay-Z had been unfaithful. The next year, Jay-Z dropped his own album, 444, where he addressed the pain he caused and how guilty he felt for hurting her. Their music became the way they dealt with everything, almost like therapy. In that same 2017 interview with T magazine, Jay-Z said that time in their life was extremely hard. He compared it to sitting in the eye of a hurricane. "It was uncomfortable," he said. "We had a lot of conversations. I was really proud of the music she made, and she was really proud of the art I released." The phrase "Becky with the good hair" came from Lemonade, and fans immediately tried to figure out who it was. People pointed fingers at several celebrities, even getting Rachel Ray and Rachel Roy confused. That one lyric started a whole internet frenzy.
Many people are speculating that Becky's actually fashion designer Rachel Roy, and that she was the cause of the infamous elevator fight between Jay and Beyoncé's sister Solange.
In 2017, Jay-Z finally admitted in an interview with T magazine that he had cheated. Most fans already guessed that from their albums, but this was the first time he really said it out loud. Still, he didn't say much about how they were working through it, until his 2018 interview with David Letterman on My Next Guest needs no introduction. During the interview, Jay-Z spoke about the healing process and the efforts they made to rebuild their relationship. "I have a beautiful wife who's understanding and knew I'm not the worst of what I've done. We did the hard work of going to therapy, and you know, we love each other, right?" Jay-Z shared, "Like you, I like to believe we're in a better place today, but we're still working and communicating and growing." Following this period of reconciliation, the Carters made a triumphant comeback as a united front in the world of hip-hop. They surprised fans with the release of their collaborative album, Everything Is Love, in June 2018. The couple demonstrated their continued success with their On the Run 2 tour, earning a remarkable $250 million that same year, further solidifying their status as the reigning king and queen of hip-hop.
Yeah, I'm good on any MLK Boulevard.
But recent rumors suggest that things have taken a turn for the worse, and some even believe that Diddy's recent legal troubles could soon be playing a part in the couple's marital woes. You see, Diddy's freak-off parties have long been a source of controversy, with whispers about what went on behind closed doors growing louder and louder. Now, with his ongoing court case, it seems like the truth is finally coming to light. And what's more, there are tapes, real incriminating footage that could expose not just Diddy, but everyone involved in the parties.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them.
It's rumored that Jay-Z and Beyoncé are among the names that could be linked to these parties. And if any of that footage leaks, it would be a PR nightmare for the Carters. But Jay-Z isn't waiting around for that to happen. He's reportedly taken aggressive legal steps to ensure that any footage involving Beyoncé stays buried for good. Jay-Z is no stranger to controversy, but when it comes to Beyoncé, he's taking things to a whole new level. According to reports, Jay-Z is pulling out all the stops to make sure that anyone responsible for this footage pays the price. Whether it's media outlets, insiders, or even Diddy himself, Jay is making moves to ensure that no one messes with his family. In any case, several celebrities have come forward to confirm what Jay-Z allegedly took Rihanna through. One of them is Eminem. According to sources close to the pair, Rihanna's collaboration with Eminem wasn't just a creative project, it was also a safe space for her. And although Rihanna has stayed quiet about the darker sides of her career, insiders suggest that Eminem provided her with the protection and partnership she needed. You see, Rihanna's collaboration with Eminem allegedly gave her a way to distance herself from the influence of both Jay-Z and Diddy. While some speculate that these industry moguls saw her primarily as a commodity, Eminem is believed to have viewed her as an artist in need of support. Fans argue that their music wasn't just a collaboration of talent, it was a partnership built on mutual respect, something that Diddy and Jay-Z allegedly failed to provide. The Monster was a massive hit, but many fans believe the song carried a deeper meaning than it seemed.
I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed.
While the lyrics describe inner turmoil, some suggest it was also a coded message about the struggles Rihanna was allegedly facing behind closed doors. Could she have been battling the monsters of the music industry itself? The pressure from both Jay-Z and Diddy, combined with their alleged control over her career, might have been overwhelming. In fact, there's a theory suggesting that Rihanna's decision to stop releasing albums and focus on her massively successful Fenty Beauty line was part of her escape from Diddy's clutches, again with Eminem's help. Allegedly, Diddy was sure that Rihanna and Eminem were involved romantically. However, the theory insists that Eminem's intentions were purely protective, not romantic. In any case, Eminem has long been seen as a controversial figure who isn't afraid to speak out about the truth behind Hollywood's closed doors. For years, Eminem has warned about the corruption in the music industry, often referencing shady deals, exploitation, and power games. To be precise, Eminem has been warning the world about Diddy for years, ever since the 1996 unreleased track, Effing Crazy. Back then, it was a funny diss. M rapped about spraying Diddy with mace. But fast forward to 2024, and the tone drastically shifted. Now, Eminem's lyrics don't just mock Diddy, they accuse him of serious crimes. In Fuel from his latest album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace, Eminem directly references the essay allegations against Diddy and hints at Diddy's potential involvement in Tupac's death.
RP, rest in peace, Biggie and Pac, both of y'all should be living, yep, but I ain't trying to beef with him, cause he might put a hit on me like KVD, get him.
But that's not all. This track also dropped hints that 50 Cent might be next in line. Eminem knows how dangerous this game is, and he's made it clear that he's ready to go to war to protect his friend. But what does 50 Cent have that Diddy's so afraid of? And could this all come down to what really happened to Tupac and Biggie? Eminem's long-standing beef with Diddy goes beyond just words, and now 50 Cent has taken it up a notch by putting out a full Netflix documentary aimed at exposing the truth about Diddy's connections to some of the darkest moments in hip-hop history. But could Diddy really go after 50 the same way he's allegedly taken care of others in the past?
He, like, man, we'll wipe out quick, you know, it's nothing.
Now, let's go back in time to understand the full scope of this beef. Eminem's disses towards Diddy started as playful jabs, like in 2000's Marshall Mathers, when he joked about Puffy's relationship with Jennifer Lopez. But it was in 2018's Kill Shot that things took a darker turn. On this track, Eminem straight up accused Diddy of being involved in Tupac's demise, rapping, "The day you put out a hit's the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac unalived."
Diddy, yep, RP, rest in peace, Biggie and Pac, both of y'all should be living.
This line took everyone by surprise. Eminem seemed to be accusing Diddy of orchestrating the hit that led to Tupac's unalivement. For context, Tupac was shot in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas 27 years ago, a crime that remains unsolved to this day. Over the years, there have been countless rumors and conspiracy theories about who was behind Tupac's death, but no one expected Eminem to point the finger at Diddy so publicly. Fans were shocked and confused. Was Eminem seriously accusing Diddy of having Tupac unalived, or was this just part of the rap game, where shocking lines are thrown around to get a reaction? It's hard to say for sure, especially since Eminem seemed to backpedal at the end of the track. After dropping the bombshell line about Diddy, Eminem closed the verse with, "I'm just playing, Diddy. You know I love you." The sudden switch from serious accusation to playful banter left fans wondering what to believe. Was Eminem just trying to stir the pot, or was there some truth to what he was saying? Either way, the damage was done, and the speculation started spreading like wildfire across social media and hip-hop forums. In response, Diddy didn't stay quiet for long. He reached out to his friend, rapper and media personality Joe Budden to clear the air. During a phone call, Diddy told Joe that the beef with Eminem was over, claiming that he had handled the situation and put an end to it. According to Joe, Diddy seemed confident that the issue was resolved and that there was no need to drag it out any further. In any case, after years of surviving a toxic industry, navigating high-profile betrayals, and being treated like a pawn in other people's power games, Rihanna did something revolutionary. She walked away from the system that tried to break her. This wasn't the story the industry expected. They'd packaged her as the Caribbean princess with a pop voice and a sexy image. They built an empire off her name, but not for her. She had to fight to own her masters, fight for creative control, fight to be taken seriously, not just as a singer, but as a woman and a brand. For years, she kept quiet while the internet speculated about Jay-Z's grip over her, about the abusive dynamics with Chris Brown, and her alleged role in the Carter household drama. She let everyone talk, but behind the scenes, Rihanna was moving differently. When she stopped releasing albums after Anti in 2016, people assumed she was done with music. But in reality, she was just done with their version of her music career. Anti was the first project where she had real control. It wasn't a collection of radio singles. It was artistic, bold, even confrontational. It was a message. The girl they once groomed was gone. The woman now knew her worth. Then she pivoted. In 2017, she launched Fenty Beauty, and the entire beauty world stopped to watch. It wasn't just a makeup line. It was a revolution, a brand that offered 40-plus foundation shades at launch, catering to women of all skin tones, especially Black women, who had been ignored by the industry for decades. In doing so, Rihanna didn't just make millions, she changed the standard. Even legacy brands like L'Oreal and Estée Lauder were forced to adapt to what was now called the Fenty effect. She followed it up with Savage X Fenty, a lingerie brand that redefined inclusivity, sex appeal, and body image. No longer was sexy limited to a size 0. Rihanna's runway shows featured plus-sized models, disabled models, trans models, bodies the industry had long pushed aside. And she did it without begging for validation from Victoria's Secret or the traditional fashion gatekeepers. By 2021, Forbes declared her a billionaire, with most of her fortune coming not from music, but from her fashion and beauty businesses. She had gone from being someone else's asset to owning everything with her name on it. And she did it while saying almost nothing about the people who hurt her. She never did a tell-all interview about Jay-Z. She never clapped back at Chris Brown's lawsuits. She didn't join the wave of exposés during the Me Too movement, even though many suspected she had plenty she could say. Instead, she spoke through moves, strategic silence, business decisions, personal boundaries. That, in itself, was power. She didn't need Jay-Z's label anymore. She didn't need Diddy's parties. She didn't need industry favors. She had built something untouchable. Even her return to the stage at the Super Bowl halftime show in 2023 was on her terms. She wasn't promoting an album. She wasn't selling a tour. She was reminding the world she's still Rihanna. And she did it while pregnant, literally creating life while performing in front of millions. That performance wasn't just about music, it was a victory lap. For the girl who once sat in a Def Jam office being told she couldn't leave unless she signed. To the mogul who now decides what the next generation sees, wears, and celebrates. Rihanna didn't just survive the industry, she beat it. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.